Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video. I want to share a little bit about why I'm here and a little bit about who I am. My life has been shaped by decades of searching. Yes, I am reading from the prompter for this first video. Hopefully that will change, but it's giving me the confidence I need right now. I'll get to riffing later. Decades of searching for health and healing, for truth and answers that go deeper than what we're usually taught. And along the way, I've explored relationships, holistic health, and what it really means to heal, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And we know they're all connected. So at 55 years old, I'm feeling more grounded and more alive than ever. I trust myself more. I listen more closely to my body and my intuition. And I've learned that healing doesn't happen in isolation and everything is connected. And I've just stumbled on things are coming to me right now in a very synchronistic way that I just feel it's very important to share this time of my life, not just for myself. I mean, mostly for myself, because I don't know if anybody's going to ever listen to this, but it's so profound what is happening that I want to document it. And I also want to share the wealth of wisdom and information that I have regarding so many different things, specifically health and healing. I've been on a healing journey for over 3 decades, and I have seen hundreds of doctors and learned to trust my own body more than anything or anyone else. And that's truly what the most important thing is in this journey and everything that comes along with that. So I am a firm believer that our health, even minor things like a hangnail or a stubbed toe or a twisted ankle, it might sound crazy, but I do believe that everything is tied into your emotions, or mentally, spiritually, whatever's going on. Everything is energy, and it's there's no coincidences. That popular saying, everything happens for a reason, it sounds very cliche, but on another level, I do believe that that is true. And I think the more that we embrace that and believe in that and believe in this energy force outside of ourselves and start trusting it more, the less we have stress and complications in life. So, but that's not an easy path. Everything has to do with becoming self-aware before we are able to, really let go. Anyway, it's multi-layered, and this channel is a space where I'm planning to share my experiences, insights, and stories from living my unconventional life, which was lived largely outside of mainstream systems and expectations. It's just it's just the way I came into this world. I was born to hippie parents and in the 70s, and I grew up in Berkeley, and I feel very fortunate that I had that upbringing because it was very unconventional and very magical. And the kids that I went to grade school, I even know some kids that I went to grade school with, but the group of kids that I went to high school with, 20 or 30, 40 years can pass. And if you see someone from Berkeley High out and about, there's just this palpable energy that we all share, and there's this connection that is so beautiful, that is it's energy, right? And it's the time that we grew up in, it's the consciousness that was around at the time, our parents. I mean, the downside of it was that we were latchkey kids, and now we're Gen X, and apparently we're pretty awesome for different reasons. I've seen lots of little clips on Instagram and whatnot about how awesome Gen Xers are. But it was tough, and we all had suffered a lot of trauma, I believe. Maybe a lot of people, of course, have had physical abuse, but probably the neglect emotionally, physically, was, had a huge impact. And it certainly had a huge impact on my life, and it informed so many of my choices. mostly with relationships, which has been a rocky road for me, but it's also been my place of finding myself and learning to become incredibly resilient and self reliant. And I think that is the most precious place to be in everyone's life. And so I really want to share this. I don't have any children, and I feel that somebody might, benefit from my experiences and what I've learned, especially on the health and wellness track. I was ahead of my time when I was doing genetic testing, 10 or 12 years ago, and learned that I'm homozygous for MTHFR. And I started seeing all these people in the health and wellness space talking about the MTHFR gene expression. It's a polymorphism, it's a genetic polymorphism. And I'm just blown away. Like, wow, I mean, I was getting into the weeds back then, but now it's becoming, I wouldn't say mainstream, but, you know, ChatGPT knows about it, and you can find lots of info about it online. So it's a really good thing. But at the time, it was also so confusing because I would take the recommended supplements and my body just was overwhelmed. And so that brings me to my next place, which I finally realized after I had so many supplements. I could open an herb store or a supplement store, vitamin store, and sometimes they worked for a while, but then it always backfired. So, and everything is coming together right now. It's just incredible. So I don't want to try and tie everything into this one video, but this is a little bit, you can see who I am. Also, I spent 10 years in the cannabis business, and I'm really excited to share about that part of my unconventional life and things that I learned about why did I even make that decision to do that. It's high risk, high reward living, but there are so many positives in so many ways. But now it makes sense that growing up the way I grew up, I was hardwired to choose something like that, which was unstable and inconsistent and risky and just all the ups and downs. So, this is what I've come to is realizing how important the nervous system is in all of this. So if you're interested in any of these things, or you're simply living life on your own terms, or you want to start doing that, then you're in the right place, and I'm really glad you're here. And if anyone is watching this, feel free to leave me a comment. What do you want to hear first? You want to hear about my Egyptian wedding in Egypt, in Cairo, to an Egyptian man when I was in my 20s and freaked everybody out and was the talk of the town. It was short-lived. I was on a spiritual journey, but nevertheless, it was quite an adventure of a lifetime, and I'm glad I did it. So I also married a Turkish man, but not in Turkey, and that's another zinger. I mean, people have called me crazy, and they've seen me go through all my relationships, and sometimes I have felt embarrassed or, wonder, oh, what do they think about me? Well, I don't worry about that anymore. And I know that now I look upon those memories as wonderful gifts that taught me so much. And I can see looking back how far I've come. So if you have anything you want to hear about, whether it's relationships, my cannabis adventures, or about my health journey, I have so much to share about health and healing and all the things that go along with it, whether it's meditation, spirituality, and the book I'm reading right now, which I will share very soon. Anyway, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you.